Today we've got something exciting. We're going to look around my crochet space. I'm going to let you see how I'm storing my yarn and what things I like about my crochet space, what things I want to improve on, and we might even have a little sneak peek and see how much yarn I'm hoarding. So stick around and we'll get to it.
Getting lost is time not wasted, as long as it's with you. Unknown roads and foreign places that we're traveling through.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Lisa. I'm an Australian crocheter, and this year I'm trying to embrace more moments of slow, cozy joy. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please stick around. I have something exciting for you all today. We are going to have a little snoop around my crochet space. I'm going to show you what things I like about my new space, what things I want to improve on, how I'm storing my yarn, and we might have a little sneak peek of what's in my yarn collection. And I will tell you what things I would like to improve on still. So if that sounds good, stick around. Okay, so we're in the crochet space now, but first I want to show you what it looked like before. So I'm going to play a little bit of footage of before we did anything to the room. So here that is. So this is going to be the crochet studio. So we have started a little bit in here, but I thought I'd give you a sneak peek. It's not a massive room. We're going to have some cupboards along here, hopefully a chair over there and a desk in front of the window, and it has some more storage there. Let's have a little look in there. Have a look inside. So there's plenty of storage space there as well. So hopefully I'll have enough for all the yarn that I'm hoarding. We'll see. So yeah, it's a nice bright room. Has a really interesting lamp or light shade that will be coming off. Yeah, and hopefully we might get some new blinds in as well. Okay then. So that was the old room, and now this is the new room. I'll cut to that footage here. So now you've seen the room before and after. Let's talk about some of the cosmetic changes that we made to the room first. So we changed the colour on the wall. So as you can see behind me, it's more of a white now as opposed to a cream. I just like a crisper white. And I didn't choose a colour for the room because there's so many other colours in this space with my amigurumi and my yarn. I thought having some white would break that up and also reflect the light around the room a bit, because we do get a bit shaded on this side of the house. It has a beautiful big window, but it definitely does get some shade during the day. So that white really just helps to have it a much brighter space. So another cosmetic change to the room was to swap out the carpet. We went from a cream colour to the grey carpet, and yeah, happy with that change. It's lovely soft carpet. I do have a protector under my chair so that I'm not running my chair up and backwards and forwards on the carpet, just to protect it a little bit. But that's definitely a change that I've made. And then the other cosmetic change to the room was to put some new curtains in, because the vertical blinds were a bit old and tatty and a little bit annoying. So we have a block out shade, and then just like a transparent type shade as well, and I'll pop some footage in of that as well. So all in all, the cosmetic changes were very minor things. Lick of paint and changing the curtains. The carpet was a little bit more expensive, but we were doing that throughout the house, so that was just something that I was doing at the same time as the rest of the house. But yeah, that was probably the most expensive cosmetic change that I made. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the things that I'm loving in this space. So this chair is something that I'm loving in this space. It allows me time to kind of relax in the space and sit back and put my feet up. It has a little footstool that I keep under the desk, and yeah, I can really just relax in here and settle into a big crochet project. And was something that I was missing in my old space, was somewhere to really relax when I'm crocheting. Also on the chair is one of my very first crochet projects, a granny stitch rectangle blanket. And just above it, I have a little granny stitch banner. Can't remember what you call those things, that I also made at the same time. And that was like one of my first projects. I actually used some of the Kmart acrylic yarn when I was first starting out. But it's nice to be able to put that on display, and yeah, I think it looks cute there. I'm really loving having some plants in my studio this time around. These little ones just sit on my desk and really just brighten my space a lot. So that's something I'm loving in my new space. Just brings it more to life. And I'm also loving this little bird feeder that's on the outside of my window, and then I get the view of my bird bath out there too, so I can kind of bird watch while I'm working, and I'm loving that. I'm also loving that I have this gorgeous big window here, letting all the light in, and that I can kind of watch and have a lovely view of the garden, even though the hedges are kind of not doing so great. It's still a great space to look out onto. And then I guess the other thing on my I love list in this space is my sit to stand desk. So let's just... Oh. So I love that I have the option of standing up and working now. Goes to a really good height. I'm quite tall. I'm 172 centimeters. So let me turn that around. So you can see there, it's really almost at my chest height. So I can really comfortably work at this space. It's probably a good space for using my laptop too at that height. So it's really handy to have a sit to stand desk, because at times when I'm in pain with my fibromyalgia, it helps me to be standing up and moving around. Sometimes sitting is quite difficult for me when I'm having a high pain day. So yeah, now that I have the sit to stand desk, I can sort of stand up and be more comfortable when I'm working. Okay, so now let's talk about the things that I want to work on in this space, or that are a bit of a work in progress. So the first thing I would like to improve on is the lighting in the room. So yeah, that's the only light source I have in the room, and I tend to work more overnight, so I feel like I need to improve on that and get some better lighting in here, especially when I'm working late. I do use my ring light because I can direct that, and it's really bright, so that is very helpful as well. But yeah, I'd like to get some better lighting in this room. Okay, the next bit that I would like to improve on is this cabinet behind me. Now, it's got some good things happening, but it also is kind of needs improving still. So I love that I can store my books on it. I love that I can have a selection of amigurumi out. But I feel like I haven't really quite got the right display happening at the moment. It's probably a little bit hickledy-pickledy, might even say cluttered. So that does need to improve. I have a little storage cabinet here for little bits and bobs. Then underneath here I have some yarn, and this in these baskets is some yarn that I purchased last year and really want to try out sometime. So I've kept it out separate from my other yarn so that I will remember to start trying it. And then down the bottom here I have some extra yarn storage here, so that is helpful. So yeah, I'd like to probably improve on this little cabinet and get things, I don't know, looking a bit nicer, but it is a useful space to have and to display my amigurumi on. So I would also like to improve on this space above the chair. It's looking a little bit bare at the moment, which is fine. It's okay to have some bare spaces, but I think it would be nice to have a little something more in the background there. So that's a space I want to work on. And then down next to it, this was a new purchase for the room. That is a little like stand from Kmart, and it's pretty bare at the moment. I need to make a little coaster, and I need to get some baskets or store some yarn down in that. So that is also a work in progress. And then my little cart is also a work in progress. It is really messy at the moment, and yeah, I need to organize that better. It's got like such random stuff on it at the moment. So another thing that I want to improve in this space is actually reducing my yarn. When I show you in the cupboards, you will understand why. I have way too much yarn at the moment, and the other thing I want to reduce is my whips as well, because they're taking up valuable storage space. So maybe that could be segueing to the next segment in looking at my yarn storage and inside the cupboards. So on the back of the door here is my first bit of yarn storage, and I'm storing some acrylics in it. And this is a shoe organizer, and you can get them, hang them in your closet or on hooks or on the back of doors. And I'm finding this very helpful. It's also great if you're low on space and need something that's kind of convenient. You can see everything in it, so that's very helpful as well. But I'm really happy with that, just increasing that little bit of storage space for me. And as I mentioned before, I store some yarns in this space too. So I actually have some cotton yarns in this container here. Let's have a sneak peek. Some keepsake. We have some Koosh Cotton Blend Motivera from Spotlight. A trial project in there. Some other random yarns. I've got some yarn that I got from Hobie. There's a few different Hobie cotton yarns in there as well. So in there is just really random cotton yarns. And then next to it on this side, this has more of my plush yarns in there. And I just store like, it's mostly the scrap bits, but also when I'm just like using a bit of it and it's not kind of a full skein anymore, I put it back in here. So I usually check for colours I need in there first before getting a new skein out. So in these two containers, I have yarns that I bought last year specifically to try and didn't get around to. So they are in a very accessible spot because I really do want to make some projects out of them this year. So let's have a look. We've got this Abbey Road Wool to be Wild. This one is a wool and soybean blend, Bellbird wool blend. I have this, I think it could be cotton. It's a mill end from Spotlight. We have Scandi Soft from Annette Erickson. We have some Big Twist, which probably a lot of the US people are really familiar with, but they stocked a bit in our Spotlight this year. So I grabbed some because I've never used it. I wanted to see what it was all about. And I think this one at the back is a Big Twist too. Look at those colours though. I loved it. That caught my eye, those colours. I was like, yep, I've got to grab that. I think I'm going to make some kind of scarf or cowl out of those. And in here, we've got, oops, I think this is an Abbey Road too, yes. The Abbey Road Because I'm Happy range. I've got a few colours in that. And some of the Funshine Panda yarn. It's acrylic nylon. And then I've got my beautiful hand-dyed yarns that I bought earlier in the year from Jill at Gumleaf Crochet and Yarn. So they still are waiting for me to make something out of them. Can't wait to do that. So yeah, that's another little section of storage I have there. That's working okay. We'll see if it actually helps to have these out where I can actually see them and remind me to start working on them. So over this side of the room is the main yarn storage space. So I got these cupboards from IKEA, and personally I chose to have cupboards that I could shut the door on and hide away any mess to make the space feel more clean and like less messy because it already does get messy working, having yarns out on the desk and whips out. So I personally didn't want to see a whole yarn wall full of messy yarn because I'm very realistic and I know that I would not be tidying it every day. I wouldn't be able to keep on top of always having it neat and tidy. And yeah, I think really when you see other people's yarn walls, a lot of the time that is the reality of it. It doesn't look perfect when you're actually using it. And then up the top here is also baskets, and that has some yarns in it that I don't use as often, and it's a good kind of overflow space. And then on top of the baskets I have some of my marketplace, like the stuff I use for markets, so like some trays and things like that. So we'll get them down in a little bit, but I think we should have a little peek in the cupboards. So as you can see, I have this banner here. So what I do with that is I just lift it up onto the top here when I'm going into the cupboard. So I'll do that. It's a bit hard to do with one hand, but I'll do that. I know that's probably for some people is a bit of a nuisance hanging in front of the doors, but I don't mind because I'm not in and out of the cupboard all the time. So yeah, it doesn't really bother me. The other thing is the chair is there, but I purposely got a light chair that would be easy to move so that I could get into the cupboard behind it. And in the cupboard behind it, I have yarns that are less frequently used by me. So my chenille yarns are in here and in here because I've got more free access to those. And then in here I have things that are more bigger projects that I might just grab a skein out here and there. So let's have a look. And a bit of a disclaimer now, I know I have a lot of yarns. Part of that is because I was living in an isolated space and I needed to, if you don't remember or you're just tuning in for the first time, I lived in a very isolated location and it was a 6-hour trip up and back to get to the nearest spotlight. So it wasn't easy for me to just pop to the shop and grab what I wanted for a project. So I did stock a lot of yarn. I also have fear of missing out because in Australia we don't have regular stock of items. It's getting better, especially some of these smaller yarn companies are now keeping their products in stock more frequently. But before that, it was very much dropped in batches and you had to get what you needed and then wait for the next shipment. But that was always like very unpredictable when the next shipment would be. So it did mean that I bought a lot of yarn so that I had yarn there ready for my markets and for the things I wanted to make. I also took advantage of one of the Spotlight sales. So Spotlight has it has sales all the time, but twice a year it has massive sales, sort of like an end of financial year and an end of year sale. And quite often then you can get things at 50% off. So when that happened, I did take the opportunity to stock up on some things while they were so cheap. So that is why I have a lot of yarn. I also have a lot of leftover yarn from Hobie, which I kind of, because we couldn't get it anymore, I've kind of not been using it because it's kind of felt very scarce to me. But this year I want to use it and just use it up. The scarcity mindset of not ever being able to get it again has meant that I don't reach for it for projects, but I need to get over that. So all right, so let's have a look at the cupboard. Okay, so up the top here is all my Zaddy Craft yarns. And as you can see, because they're not on display, I just pop them in. I'm not really fussed about the colour order or anything like that. They just kind of go in together. I know where to go to grab them. And then underneath I have all my Patty and Bango's Place yarn. Okay, I know it's ridiculous. And then under here I have my blanket yarn from Motivera. And I've got quite a lot of that because I bought it on sale. So there's a lot there. I still have some of the colours that are not available now. Red and green and that green. Some purple. A little bit of the brown. So it'll be fun to use them. I'm not going to do what I did with Hobie and get all like scarcity mindset with it. I'm going to just use it. So that's the first cupboard. This is the cupboard I use the most. It's in the middle so that I can access it really easily. Okay, this is the second cupboard, and this has storing a lot of my mill ends. And yes, I have a ridiculous amount of mill ends. Again, scarcity mindset. Yeah, 2 shelves there. And then underneath that is this Portercraft blanket yarn. I actually bought some of that. It was really cheap, but I don't love it. So it will be something that I also let my nieces use from time to time as well, because it was a cheaper one. And yeah, it doesn't always work out the nicest. It's okay though. And then the next shelf down has some of my kind of supplies for making like signs and, you know, printing things out. Just some of my card at stock, my label maker. This has got eyes in it. This has got eyes in it. In here I've got some pom-poms for hats and things. Plenty of storage space still in that basket. And then on the very bottom shelf I have my little hoard of these Flinders or Four Seasons cotton yarns. These were on sale and I just stocked up on them because they were ridiculously cheap. Like I said, when Spotlight had a really big sale. What's this one? Some greens and pinks. So yeah, that's that cupboard there. Okay, what do we have in here? Okay, so in here we have my 10-ply acrylic yarns, all the spot savers mostly, and look here, some of the granny square yarn from Red Heart that I still haven't had a chance to use. I still haven't had a go at making them, so that's on the to-do list at some point. And yeah, I just kind of have random bits in there too. I probably should wind those at some point, but anyway. And then the next shelf down, I have some acrylic yarn in here. This was another kind of cheaper yarn, but it actually is really soft. I quite like this. There's another Portercraft. I've just got a few different colours in that. And then we have some skinny Caron cakes. I got a few of these in this kind of colour because I thought they might be nice for a project. I just liked the colour of them, and I've got a few of those when they were on special. Another Milan just kind of dumped in there. And then I also bought these on special as well because I liked how they were all kind of colours that went together. They were really expensive if you didn't get them on sale, but I did get them on sale and they were really cheap at the time, and I thought they would be great for doing some granny square projects. So I've got a few of those in there. I'm not sure if I'm going to make a blanket or something else, but yeah, I love those colours. These kind of like reds and browns are really kind of on trend at the moment. But anyway. And then on this next shelf, I have a whole heap of Kmart kits that I bought and haven't had a go at making. So I really want to do that this year and clear that out. Then this is kind of like where I have all my loose ends of the Colour Theory, which is one of my favourite yarns to use. It's so soft. It's just an acrylic, but I really like it. And then this is more where all the full yarn skeins are. I've got a few different colours in that. Then down here I have kind of more larger skeins of yarn, like chunkies. So I've got a nice red wool ease, another one, I love that one. And then I have some of these kind of more recycled Portercraft yarns in there, which I got as well when I want to make blankets out of. So, and there's more of those Portercraft ones down the bottom there. So yeah, I'm really stocked up for making blankets. I'm getting a little bit hot. I'm going to grab the baskets down off the top and give you a bit of a sneak peek in the yarns up on top of the shelving that I don't use super often. So in this basket, I have like all the little scrap pieces of my Motivera blanket yarn. I have a few of these Zaddy Craft yarns here. They were the type that, there was a couple of different skeins that came in at one point that didn't have the nice texture to them like the others did. They were like different textured. So I didn't really use them, and they're kind of sitting in here, and I'm kind of feeling that I just need to get rid of those because I really don't like them and don't think I'll use them. And there's a few big skeins in there that just didn't fit in the cupboard. So yeah, that's that first one. Not really too exciting, but yeah. Something I want to work on getting down is all those scrap pieces this year, because I have a lot of them. So as you can see, this is one of the market shelving things that I keep stored in there. Oh, this yarn. Okay, so this yarn I got when I first started crocheting, and before I knew about other types of chenille yarn. And I grabbed a lot of this baby chenille, and this one, I think it's Nippers. Yeah, Nippers. And I just don't use this that often now because I've found better brands. So I might actually make some baby things out of them, but at the moment I actually just let my nieces use these ones. They do finger knitting and crocheting, and they're quite happy to come and select a skein of yarn from here. But yeah, again, something else I want to work on getting down, or maybe even selling off if I'm not going to use it, because it is taking up space. And I do want to get my storage space better organized and have room for things I actually do want to use. So these are also help to keep the dust off of things, which is good, because that's the other reason I don't like open yarn storage a lot, is because things can get dusty. I like things to have covers over them and stuff. So this one's a real odd bod kind of mixture of things. I've got some like different types of like fur yarn. Got some of this Bernette velvet. That's a leftover skein of chunky yarn from Hobie. Really disappointed that I couldn't get that anymore, but I know Zaddy Craft is now making his own chunky yarn, which is great. This is some of Moo Moo's milk cotton. I bought that thinking it was real cotton, but it's actually acrylic. Don't let the name fool you. But I love it. It's lovely and soft. But when I first bought it, I had a different like idea of what I was going to use it for, and I've only got one skein of it. But I do need to use that up. It's quite a chunky one too. I have some of the Spotlight Panda Velour that came out ages ago, and I just got like some different, like there's a green one and a pink one, and there's a little bit of orange down there. I got those and then they disappeared. So again, I've probably just been holding them thinking, what will I do with them? Yeah, some more of that velvet Bernette. And some ribbon yarn that I bought to experiment with. I'll probably make some baskets out of those. And right down the bottom here, I think that's some acrylic for, I think I was going to like try and make a baby jacket or something at some point. So that's why I bought that, and I just haven't got around to using it. So yeah, this one's just a real mix of oddball yarns in there. And then in this basket we have Hobie yarn. I have the tiniest little bit of this green, which I absolutely love. That was just such a great green colour. But anyway, some nice reds. The orange is even quite nice. And yeah, some blacks. There's a whole mix of colours in there. So as I said, I had a bit of a scarcity mindset about that, but I'm going to change that this year and really get into using that. I think the last container is going to be Hobie yarn too, so let's have a look. Yep, just as I suspected, more Hobie yarn. This one looks lovely but is a real pain to work with. Same with that blue. But I do love the look of it when it's worked up with all those kind of like little confetti things in it. Mostly just neutral colours in this one, I think. Lots of browns and things. So yeah, that's that one. I utilise my crates that I use at markets for a little extra storage and displaying my amigurumi. Saves having them in a cupboard just because they're quite bulky. They would take up a lot of space, so I tend to have them as a dual purpose and keep amigurumi in it. And then when I'm going to market, I just take them out and sit them aside. And then they just go back in when I get back from markets. So yeah, that's kind of how I utilize these to kind of make the most of my space. Okay, so I'll show you in this last cupboard. I don't think I'll pull everything out for that, but this is a cupboard that I don't go into very often, so I tend to keep the cart in front of it, and I usually have my stuffing hanging around here at the edge of the desk or sometimes under the desk. Yeah, and yeah, there's the footstool for my chair, which I just pull out when I want to relax, and that's another kind of whip bag sitting on top of there. So let's move this around so we can see what's in the last cupboard. Okay, now you're getting to see the the real dark side of the studio. Look at how messy it is. Okay. So on the cupboard doors, I utilize them for some more yarn storage space. So I have a whole heap of cotton yarns that I got on special again, because I will make hats out of those or bags. And then on the other side, we have some more cotton yarns, just a variety of different ones there. On this top shelf, we have market stuff, a random mill end, I can't escape them, more of my market stuff. There's some bags there that have that were mystery bags that are all now crushed. Not great, I know. And then I think that bag has some old amigurumi in it. Here I have amigurumi and a work in progress amigurumi. More yarn down this side. I know it's ridiculous. That's got more acrylics in it. Actually, this is leftover acrylic from a blanket, so scrap yarn. I think that's got acrylics in it. Then over here is whips, with some more yarn there, more acrylic. And these ones here are some ones that I'm taking to my niece's. She wants to make some things out of those particular ones, so I've just set them in there to grab when I go around. But whips. And then down the bottom here, I have stock for my markets. So this cupboard is a real mess. I want to get all these whips here down. I want to have all this space just for storing market stuff in the end. I just want this cupboard to have my market stuff in it. So the aim this year is to go through yarns and cull them and also use them up. And then the rest of this can then be really easy access market stuff. So yeah, that's the last cupboard. Let's shut that one because it's a disgrace. That's better. Look at my tapestry hanging on the door. Much better view. So I hope you've enjoyed this little look at my studio space and had a little peek behind the curtain to see the mess that's hiding in the cupboards and what yarns I have been hoarding, and maybe you can motivate me to say goodbye to some of those yarns that I really just don't like, and maybe we can lose our scarcity mindset and work through some of those hobby yarns and not be put off by the fact that that's it forever. Because there's so many good other yarns that I can use now, so I don't need to be worried about using it all up, because there's plenty of supply coming in, especially from Zaddy Crafts and Patty's Plush. So I feel like I can really just get in and use those up now. So yeah, definitely lots of scrap yarn pieces to use up as well. So I might need to have a look at patterns that will be good for using up all those scraps. Especially, I have a lot of plush scraps as well. So I know I do have some patterns that I found last year that were really good for that. So I will have to focus on doing that and maybe getting those scraps down, because there's a lot of those. So thank you for joining me for this little studio tour. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, have a think about hitting that subscribe button, because you don't want to miss out any future videos. You might miss out on seeing my next messy cupboard tour. And I will catch you all next time, and I'm wishing you all lots of slow cozy joy in your week ahead. Bye for now. So we've got, oh, what was that? Darling, there's something in the cupboard. Oh, it's a lizard. That scared me. There's a lizard in the cupboard. Welcome to Australia. Let's have a little look at him.